And now we have another dumbest bill in America, and we're calling this dumbest bill, Brian, the Communist Manifesto. It would be Moore's Communist Manifesto, of course, to be clear, or the Maryland Democrats' Communist Manifesto, Brian. But it's the Maryland budget. And why is the Maryland budget a Communist Manifesto? I'm going to throw this to Brian. Please tell us what's going on.
It's 375 pages of $70 billion of complete and utter mismanagement of funds. And as you and I were just discussing, they're running out of places to look for these funds, but they refuse to stop the spending, right? It's like a kid that gets a credit card for the first time. We all remember this in college. You had a bunch of people that were getting credit cards back when we were in college, and everybody was spending. Nobody had any clue how we were going to pay these things because none of us had jobs. Essentially, Governor Moore's got a credit card that has reached its limits.
Yep.
And they're still spending money on it.
So to that point, Brian, has Maryland cut the budget? Is there less spending this year than last year, or is there more spending this year?
Not even close. When I came in just 8 years ago.
Meaning there's more spending this year.
A lot more spending.
Go ahead.
We've gone from $46 billion 8 years ago when I first got elected to $70 billion this year.
I think it's almost 71 this year.
71?
It's just shy of 70. I know, give or take
a couple
billion.
$100 million.
Yeah,
we're just throwing it around. I mean, we're flush with cash in this state. I mean, this is complete and utter. This is mismanagement of people's funds, and people are tired of it. That's the scary part, Mark. We're doing everything we can to fight back, right? You and I and some others. And the governor's like, we don't care. We'll just keep spending other people's money. It's easy to spend other people's money, isn't it?
Chris, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Hopkins, our producer, actually has a graph, and he's going to put this up now on the podcast, okay? And that graph will show you, it illustrates that we don't just have a budget deficit this year, but we have one next year, the year after, the year after, the year after, and they just continue and they grow the budget deficits to every single year. And that's because of the spending that's on autopilot that just keeps growing and is out of control, Brian.
That's right.
And then in addition to that, what it means is next year, the governor and the Maryland Democrats are going to have to massively raise taxes. I want Brian to talk about this.
Yeah, this is what we call an election year budget, right?
Yep.
Where he's going to come out and say, we didn't raise taxes, we didn't raise fees, it's all a lie. But he can say that knowing the next year, we are going to get hammered, and I mean hammered hard. We know by the most conservative projections, it's $3 billion. And that's based off of what, Mark? It's based off of revenue projections, not based off of, hey, we've got this money sitting in the bank. It's like, no, we're going to have this money come in. And you and I both know every time they do this, even the comptroller has had to revise numbers downward, right? And
yes.
Say, hey, the revenue, surprise, the money didn't come in. Are you kidding me?
So get this, when you look at this graph, and I want Chris to put it back up again, when you look at this graph, please notice that this is all red ink for years and years to come, which means somehow Wes Moore and the Democrats are going to find ways to get you to pay for this by getting more money out of your pockets. But that graph, those charts, those lines, which show you how much money we are going to owe as citizens, it doesn't even include the $4.8 billion of Child Victims Act, $1.4 billion in potential transportation liabilities, and then, oh my God, $20 billion of pension unfunded liabilities, Brian, and another $6 billion of healthcare unfunded liabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, Maryland is effectively bankrupt. Brian.
Yeah, and that's a lot to unpack. But let me start with the Child Victim Act, because you and I would agree. Those kids probably, if they were victimized under state control, that's what we're talking about here. Kids that were entrusted under state control were abused. And so the state should have the money to pay those kind of people back. But when you're talking about unfunded pensions, last year what the governor did was he said, well, the state doesn't want to pay these teacher pensions anymore. We're going to push it back. And you and I both know the big driver behind this budget disaster and, you know, that trend of it going straight down is the blueprint, which they were so proud to pat themselves on the back. Oh, we passed this blueprint
It's
for
bankrupting
education.
the state.
That is bankrupting
Yes.
the state. So they
Yes.
passed a bill with no clue how they were going to fund it. And then Medicaid, because Medicaid fraud is out of control and nobody wants to take it seriously because it's not their money.
Yes. And the thing is, no, Brian is, he's spot on, folks. So that graph, once again, Chris put it up, that graph, this is important, folks, doesn't include all of those other liabilities that are hidden liabilities. We don't know when they're going to come online. Oh, by the way, guess what the other liability is, Brian? That's not in there either. Reparations.
Oh, yeah.
The Democrats passed a bill that sits up or stands up a commission for reparations. That commission will be responsible for deciding how much of your money will be redistributed to people who have been historically, according to the Democrats, been discriminated against since slavery. What's that number? 3 billion, 4 billion, 5 billion? Does it ever end? Or when is it? Folks, we're bankrupt as a state. We are. And there is one common theme here, Brian. The Democrat Party and Governor Moore don't know how to stop spending because this is how they pay off their voters to vote for them. And the money is running out. What happens when the money actually runs out and people just are done?
Yeah, and a couple things.
Final thoughts.
One of the scary things to me is there was a new report that came out that said that Maryland's at the highest risk. We're number one in the country of losing jobs to AI because we have so many of these jobs that can easily be replaced by AI. When we talk about the reparations bill, we talk about the Child Victim Act bill, you know who is getting rich in the state of Maryland?
Who?
Lawyers. Lawyers are getting 40%. So when people come to me about reparations, I'm like, how are you going to ensure the people that you say deserve the money are actually going to get the money? Because I can guarantee you something, the lawyers are going to get paid because they always get paid. And that's why in the state of Maryland, we don't actually have a growing economy of people that actually work for a living with their hands and do the stuff that built this country. We just have a bunch of grifters, nonprofits, adjunct professors, and lawyers. That's it.
And that's more Communist Manifesto, turning Maryland completely red, as in communist and Chi-Com red. Thank you. We appreciate you joining us on this live broadcast, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
Ciao.